Hey folks, Dan Frio here. Today of the rate update. Today is July 23rd, 2021. Today we're going to talk about Wells Fargo closing down personal credit lines and why. And then we're also going to talk about mortgage rates. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so here's what we got today. I got a comment below in one of the videos I recently did, and they're like, Dan, can you address what's going on with Wells Fargo? Do they know something about the market that we don't? So I did a lot of research on this. Actually did the same thing when the news originally came out, and all the data, it seems like it's the same. So let me go over what's happening there, and for you guys not to freak out. They don't know that the market's going to crash. And I keep saying on a daily basis, it's not going to crash, guys. I can almost guarantee, I can't guarantee anything, but there's no reason on the mortgage side of the equation that would crash the housing market. And that's what happened back in 2006 to 2008. Okay, so the headlines are Wells Fargo closes down all personal credit lines. And that's what happened. So that's the headline news, and it gets a lot of clickbait because you'll have basically, if you Google it, I put in here personal credit lines being closed, and it's Wells Fargo, Wells Fargo, Wells Fargo, major bank, and so forth. So here's basically what's happening. The Federal Reserve had a requirement basically that says, if you're a bank, you need to keep X amount in reserves. So here's how lending works in the banking world. Now, this is just like the regular banks, not mortgage companies or mortgage lenders. So at a bank, and this isn't precise, but for every dollar they have in a savings account, they can lend out that dollar usually about 5, 6, 7, 8 times. The Federal Reserve came in not too long ago and says you don't really need to keep a reserve of that dollar before you lend out all this money. So it's called fracturing of the money. Okay, they fracture it, and basically you have $1 as a bank, and you can lend it out, a million times. And that's how they make money. They just leverage that money. But the Federal Reserve just recently came back and said, okay, we're stopping that. And they basically put it in place last year to make sure a lot of banks didn't fail. So now they're coming back saying, okay, now we need banks to start hitting reserve requirements. That's what's happening to Wells Fargo. They have too much in liability, so they've got to start cutting back their liability. They can't fracture that dollar so many times. And it's really interesting. So if you would check out some YouTube videos, just put in, money fracturing, and you'll be amazed on how they do it and how it's legal. So whatever. So that's the part of that equation that I want to debunk. Okay. So the next part of the equation, or, headlines, is this that we see today. Here's how to tap your house's cash as home prices soar. So in one breath, we see banks or Wells Fargo cutting lines of credit on people and home equity loans. And then you can read over here how to tap into the home equity that you have in your home. Kind of odd. All right, so that's what's going on with the credit lines right now. The next thing we want to go over is what's going on in the mortgage market. Well, there's nothing going on. Why is there nothing going on? Well, the economic calendar for today is completely blank. And the good news is there was nothing in the markets that really shocked anything, stock market or bond market, that made any adjustments. Now let's see how the day is going. You can see the day we started up a little bit. We actually started really down in the hole, and then we basically tapered off from there. So I have no problems with this graph, and I love right in the back end right here, we have the green candlesticks that's telling me there's a nice amount of support at the end of the day that we should come into Monday with no hiccups and continue to move up in the charts. Here's where we see the major markets moving right now in the mortgage industry. So I follow this on a daily basis. That's why most people do watch me. And we see what's going on with mortgage rates. This component right here is called a mortgage-backed security. It's a bond that trades on Wall Street that is the biggest component of your mortgage rate. Okay, so what happens is this number right here represents the price of the bond. What we normally say, this number is usually up or down. We like when it's up, because when the price is up, the rate or your yield or the mortgage rate that you're getting will go down. Okay, that's how it works. Price is up, yields down. Same thing. If the price went down, the yield or your mortgage rate would go up. So basically nothing happened today. So we have a nice little last couple weeks ago when the Federal Reserve came out with some news and there was some inflation fears, the market crashed. And ever since then, we had a nice little rally up until just the last couple of days. You saw Monday and Tuesday in the markets, even the stock market kind of got clobbered. And then within 2 days, 3 days, it recovered and it went into the positive for the week. So really a weird week, but I love it with mortgage-backed securities because we're basically, here's what's this, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Where we are Monday, where we are today. It's basically almost no difference. So it's a good week on the lending side because we don't have a ton of volatility. So let's go over to where mortgage rates are for today. So I follow this. It's a study done by Black Knight. They do it every day. They survey mortgage companies throughout the whole country to figure out where their rates are. So these are not my rates. These are the standard norms in the country. And they go over 30-year conforming, jumbo, FHA, and VA. Here's where those numbers are. Okay. Then we monitor these and we monitor the charting and we monitor all these other charts to get a feel on where we're going. So today, right now, they have the 30-year conforming throughout the entire country as being 3.04, the jumbo 304, FHA 316, VA 266. And then you have a 1 day, 7 day, and 4 week, what they call Delta. Delta is a technical word for change. That's it. What was the change in the past day, week, or month? Basically nothing. You see here, basis points, let's say, for example, 0 basis points. Well, let's say 5 basis points. What's that equate out to in math? It's 0.05 is a number, okay? So you can see that they're basically in the last week, nothing's really changed. Over the past month, we're going to see a change of about 0.16, 0.10, 0.12, 0.15, about an eighth. So rates are down about an eighth from where we were last week. Okay, so that's the rates for today. That is my information in my rate update for today as well. If you'd like to learn more about me and my team, if you're looking to build, buy, refinance, you're in a forbearance and you need some help just figuring out what do I do next? If you're in a forbearance right now, we're starting the floodgates are starting to ring. And the emails are starting to come in. People are in forbearances saying, I need help. And the crazy thing is most of these people are in about 4.75 to 5% in their rate, which is crazy. So please reach out to us and let us help you. So how do you find out about us and how do you reach out to us? Well, go to therateupdate.com. We have a nice fancy website that was just created and put into effect just in the last 2 weeks. Most people call us. 844-775-LOAN. It's 844-775-5626, and we'll answer any and all questions you have. If you're like, Dan, I just want to get the ball rolling right now, hit the Apply Now button. It'll take you about 15 minutes to complete, and you'll be able to do everything online or via your phone, and you'll be able to monitor your loan throughout the entire process from application to close. If you're like, hey, I'm looking to buy a house, but I have a lot of questions, well, call. If you don't want to call, just click this. What it's going to do is going to ask you about 15 questions. Based on the answers to those questions, it's going to help us determine the exact program that is right for you. Yes, you. Okay? But if you're like, I really need some help and I need further detail, go here and click. You want to schedule a meeting. It'll open up a calendar. It'll give you all the days and times we have available. You click there, you click the time. Then you'll have the option to choose if you want to do it by phone or Zoom. It's up to you. However you choose, just be ready that day at that time to have a conversation with us to go over any and all questions that you have. So that's it for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the bell every time we post a video. You get an alert. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.